So, so there are three things I always say that very relevant, either as a trainer or as a professional or whatever it is you do. I said your experience, your exposure, and your expertise. Now, those three, you may not have them completely sometimes, probably in certain area or choosing career or choosing discussion. Now, even if you're going to train as a trainer, you may not have all of the three, but the most important, you will have at least two, right? But the fact remains that everything centered around solving problems. So what do we do as recruiter? What do we do as consultant is to solve problems. Okay, so if you then begin to complain or lament, then you will become a problem that we need to solve. So we are not looking for people that will be lamenting. We are looking for people that will be supportive in solving problems. So that's why I said I want to create a community of people that are involved in recruitment. Now, not just HR. And like recruitment is one of those area of specializations in human resources. I've been doing this, like I said, for close to 20 years. Lorach Consulting itself is close to about 17, 18 years. And if there's any part of my career that I've done more, I think it's recruitment. And if you want to ask me, is there any part of my career that I've made more money, it is recruitment. Either as a consultant or even when you're in employment. Of course, when you're in employment, you may not enjoy more of the benefits. That is why I didn't title it recruitment training. It's recruitment consultancy or consult for consultants. But eventually, one of the things that testify to the fact that you are good and sound in your chosen career or your area of expertise is when you turn to a consultant. You realize that when people even retired, they turn to consultants because they have gained mastery, they have expertise, they have enough experience and exposure in that area, and then they turn to consultant. And consultant, what is the job of a consultant? People engage you as a consultant because they believe you have those experience, you have the hand-on experience, you have the exposure, and they feel that you'll be able to come with solution to their problem. So each time we get engaged by organizations and they said they want us to recruit for them, I usually tell my colleague in the office, I say, look, if they have the solution, nobody wants to waste money, if you want to call it a waste of money. Because when you see an organization outsourcing their recruitment services or certain part of the position, because they need solution and they want a quick solution. And not because they cannot do it, but because some other things are engaging their time, and more importantly, probably they've tried it, they've not been able to close it. They feel that they need to go for agency and they engage your agency. So if every organization or every company say that they're not engaging agency, somebody like me would be out of business. I won't be able to eat. So what I mean is that for me to remain relevant or for our organization to remain relevant, then we must be able to justify the confidence that they impose on us that we should help them to solve problems. And I've done something close to this, I think last year and 2 years, in fact, almost every year, because I continue to see the gap and challenges as to we want to close goal. Even when you want to employ people, a lot of people will come to you and say that, look, they are recruiter and you give them certain role, and then they will begin to lament. And then you realize that there's a problem. So there's a gap, there's a problem. And all our discussion is centered on how to solve problem. So if you are here, you are not willing to look to see how to solve problem, then probably you have missed the training session you want to join. But if you are someone that desire to solve a problem and make money ultimately, because again, what I'm going to say from here is that I'm hoping if there's anyone that have a mastery in recruitment, and then I'm looking for two sets of people anyway. Apart from the fact that I want to create a community, the platform we have created, we're going to get more people that are probably interested in recruitment to join. We'll be having to share some things once from time to time. And then if you have any naughty position in your office that you feel you need, you can reach out to the community. If anybody can be of help, maybe not at a cost. And if anybody feel like you want to offer for you as a cost, then if you want to agree, fine. All right. And then, one thing that I've learned from one of my mentors is that if you feel that if people get into the kind of line of business or services that you do, and then you feel that ends your own career or ends your own relevance, and then because of that, you are unable to share your knowledge, that you are an insecure person or an insecure leader. Yes, it is what you see. For me, I'm not afraid to share what I've been getting me results, and that's the essence of this training, and that's why I make it free. I could tell you to pay, I'm not sure how many people want to pay, but I know a lot of people want solutions. All right. So most of the things I do, sometimes I do them for free. People blame me and argue with me that why do you do it for free? I said, well, I do it based as I'm moved. So let me not appear to be a spiritual or a pastor here. But the truth is that when it appears in my spirit, I do it. So this comes to my mind, I'm like, can't you do it? And more importantly, when I'm trying to solve a problem too personally, sometimes I turn it to something of offering services. I have a need to solve. I want to engage one or two people to come on board our team too as part of our recruiter. But aside from that, I feel okay, let me also give back from what I know, what I've been doing over time. Let me empower some people, share some of my own knowledge. Let's cross-fertilize ideas and see how people can also benefit. So that's the essence of all of this training. At the end of the training, if anyone more interested in having a service kit, then you can pay for it. And it's just a token. Because what you're paying for is just going to go for the printing purpose. So it's not me. If you want a hard copy, you pay for the cost. If you want the soft copy, you pay for it. That's what it is. So it's just because it's not bad if you have it a certification to say that you attend the training. But more importantly, like I said, the training is free. Okay. And then, like I said, I've established like 3 things or 4. One, I'm creating a community of recruiters that we can share. People can also get on board on it and take it as an advantage to solve problems or even get job and whatever. The next one is to see how people can learn about business side of it. All right. And I said that even for me too, from this team or for as many people, I'm hoping that I could pick 1 or 2 people that probably will be interested or are doing it, and we can strike a deal, and then we can get on board my own team, join our business and what have you. And the 4th one is that people can build career, even if you don't know anything about recruitment before. It can be. In fact, one of the things I realized is that recruitment is one of those access points to get into HR. If I'm lying, you can tell me no. Most of the people here, I'm sure most of you start your HR journey through recruitment, because it's almost one of those easier way. When you join to an organization, then they will say, okay, you'll be sourcing for candidates and all of that, and then from there you start begin to develop interest. But I tell you, as a business side of it, which is one of the emphasis I want to place, how do I even get into recruitment? I am someone that believe in supporting businesses. So I usually pay more attention to what I call enterprise development. My PhD is in commerce and enterprise development because I'm trying to build a very strong, how do I put solution around business support and business or scale up optimization, strategy and all that. And I do that a lot. And so I realized that when I was doing that, I was working with a lot of small business. They cannot afford to pay me. All right. Even when that was when I left my employment, and Lorach was battered, and I started that. Most of the companies I was working for, they couldn't pay me, but they need my service and they're enjoying the service. But I wasn't bothering because I was like, I was going to use them as also as a stepping, as a testimony. The one of the way that you can tell someone that you are very sure of your solution, if you have solved a problem, is when they see what you have done, your record. And that's how it started. So when I do strategy for them, I do business reorganization for them, and their business is going, they will need manpower. They will need them to be trained. And I can't do strategy for you. I can't evolve business process for you. And then I will tell you to go and look for another consultant to come and employ for you. So I said, okay, let me just get into recruitment. And that's how I just get into recruitment. I said, okay, let me start doing recruitment. So I solve the problem for them. I recruit for them. I train for them, and I get going. Ismail, you have something to say. You could unmute your mic and quickly go. Otherwise, you could wait. Let me just wrap up my discussion, and then there'll be time for question and answer. I just want to announce that Grace Uluwala will join me later on to also have the discussion. Don't worry, you can't run away. So just let me inform you ahead of time. I will tell other people to once I see their name. Okay, so I begin to get to solve problem of recruitment for them. All right, and then that's how we get going. I get into it. And the interesting thing which I will share with you again that I think I've enjoyed in recruitment is that I remember one of the occasion that one of our clients told me and said they needed to fix they wanted to fix a position, and that they've been on this position for a long time. And there's a particular guy they wanted to employ, and they've been on that guy for 3 years. But the guy is not, if you're not here, okay, if you're not hearing any voice, you need to remove yourself and sign in again, and then click on your audio when you are signing in. Join with your audio. So you may not be able to hear us until you join appropriately. Okay, so they told me about this particular guy who works for a multinational. The company that want to employ him is also a multinational company. And all they just told me that they don't even know the guy. I mean, they didn't give me the guy's name. They only described the position of the guy. So when they did that, I got into action. I had to go look for search for the name of the guy. I got to name. So when I tried, I like to look at how best to get across to it, because one thing I've discovered in recruitment is that there are people that are qualified, but they will tell you they are not interested in moving right now. And that can be more painful. You scout, and then you see someone that's very qualified for the position. And you're like, oh, you have eat your opportunity or what have you. And then the person say, look, I thank you for reaching out with me, but I'm not interested in the job because I'm not willing to change now. Someone once told me, look, I've been working for this company for about 10, 15, 20 years, and I'm telling you I'm happy here, and I want to retire here. I said, come on, don't you know what you're doing to me? You want to block my home daily meal. I said, you pick this job. So it could be very frustrating sometimes. But this particular story I'm saying, eventually I got the guy. I started talking to the guy. He said to me, Ayo, this company, because so that kind of recruitment is no longer the kind of a vacancy or open recruitment. That's more like end hunting. Okay. So he said this particular company we're talking about, they've been following me for about 3 years. They've sent people to me, but I don't think I have time for them. But I'm surprised that you are able to get me to even talk. I said, just name your price. Name your price, name whatever it is one day. And then we got into it back and forth, and then we were able to close the position. And I got the paycheck. And it was a paycheck very huge. I mean, when you get a million naira, when you recruit just one candidate, just one position, you got $1 million for the recruitment fee of just one. You're going to be happy. Even right now, I am talking about a story of about, I don't know, maybe about 8 years ago or thereabout. So 1 million 8 years ago is very good. It's a big money. Even as at this moment, it's a big money. So you will agree with me that recruitment can be very juicy, like Philo said, when you are closing your roles. So as a consultant, even if you close that one position every month, I mean, that's your takeaway. I mean, you're happy. But it doesn't always happen that way. That's the truth. So you might not need to close about 1 or 2 roles for you to even make $1 million. Or 1 or 2, 3 more. Sometimes you have to close like 5 roles, because if at the end of the day your net is going to be 100K. So you have to close maybe like 10 roles for you to make 100K on one. But I tell you, since I've been doing this job, I mean, you could close 2 roles, close 3 roles, and get your 100 million. Your 1 million and whatever. So recruitment is very interesting as a consultant. You make big money if you're able to deliver, and you are able to deliver very well. But of course, yes, it has a lot of challenges and a lot of toughness that you need to then get. Where are the logics? What are the things that you can do, to really get the best, out of it. So I know we have 3 category of people here. And I know with people that are probably want to understand more what they can do with their recruitment. I know those that want to see whether they can get on board to start learning, having a career in recruitment. I know we have professionals that just want to let's just share ideas together and see what we can make of it. Okay, so yes, I have a slide, but I don't want to be restricted with slides. So I'm just going to talk freely, and by 9 o'clock at the highest, I think we'll be done. And then we can then have this maybe once a while. Like I said, we are building a community. So even if I don't say everything here, you will get something on the platform, and then we can share one-on-one, and then we can build a resource around us, and then we can make money as well. Because I'm going to also open opportunity for as many people that want to make money. And then if you want me to make money too, that'll be fine. But if you don't want me to make money, where God sees you, God knows your house address. All right. Okay. So as a consultant, like I said earlier, it is seen that you are a problem solver. If a consultant comes to organization, and rather than solving problem, you create more problem. Nobody will call you, nobody will respect you. That's the honest truth. And one of the things that get you more respected and get you more opportunities when you solve a problem, and then you get a referral. You know, we rarely do adverts in our organization. People are only referrals because they see that we solve problem and then they refer to other clients. That's how we have been building our clients over the years. So you need to be able to be a solution provider. All right. Recruitment is tough. I won't lie to you. But again, it's very interesting. You know, and if there's anything you need to understand, it is for you as a person to have some element of patience and be very dynamic. You have element of patience and be very dynamic. And then you must be an hardworking person. You know, most times I hardly do recruitment as a person again, because of course I have other things I do in terms of my job responsibility in the office and what have you. But the days I used to do recruitment, most of the time I get my candidate in the midnight. I walk around the night because that time I'm settled down, I'm able to a bit calm, and I can be to explore and do some sort of thing. I can get all the names, get all the profile, get all the things I want to do, explore what I want to explore. And then during the day, I start making calls, doing emails to see, I want to solidify whatever information I have. Okay. So, but what are the things you need to do? You don't leave as a recruitment consultant to start with. You don't go to scout for business or tell your client that you will be able to, you know, there's something I said in that video or on that video that I said, our promise to our clients is that within 24 hours, we can get them solution. And I'll tell you one funny story. There was one of my friends that when I was doing we did our MBA together, and then he works for one of our very old clients, and we made a lot of money from that client. I won't lie to you. I mean, those are about 12 years ago, 12, 15. And he said to me, he called me, said, look, in my office, they are trying to solve a problem. They wanted to recruit certain number of people, and the agent that is working on it is just been promising them. And I told them, I will solve this problem in 24 hours. And they look at me like, is this guy okay? This is what problem somebody has not been able to solve for years, and you are telling us in 24 hours. I don't know what made me say it, but I just said I will solve it. And they gave me the assignment. The following day, a lot of people show up in their office, and they were like, even me, I said to myself, it could have been a miracle. Maybe I just call people's name and then they just show up. And I said, but you know, that endeared us to them. And then we started doing business. I did a lot of business for about 10 years, very actively. So what am I saying? Recruitment is something that you don't work within the normal hour or work within your jurisdiction or the hour that I think you are paid for and think you are going to get results. No. You go beyond, far and above beyond. You go in a circle. It's not something like you think between 8 and 5 you can get solution. It won't happen. Because the truth is that now the people you are looking for, they are either in one employment or the other. Because it depends on what role you want to fill. So if they are in employment, they are busy too. So one, you can't even get their attention. You may not be able to see something about that. But of course, yes, at some point in time when they're not busy again, you probably be able to get access and get some information and get something done. So that you must know. Now, recruitment again is not also limited to when you go online alone. There are some other things you do offline. All right. And then the other part is that there are some people that you also need to get in touch with that will help you to navigate to the people you want or the people you need to, that you are actually looking for. Now, so it depends on what industry. You know, one of the things we have done with Lorach is that we recruit in different sectors. So over time, we are able to gain that understanding and knowledge. We do all kinds of sectors, from agric to telecom to pharmaceutical, for manufacturing, FMCG, to name it. We play around bank and all that and what have you. Okay. So, but one thing I've said over time, and I've also advised my colleagues, is that look, there's a way you can build your bank. Because actually, your recruitment or your job bank, as it were, is one of the backbone you need to build. Now, for instance, a consultant, for each of our clients, we have profiled them. We have an understanding of the kind of manpower or kind of roles they usually want to fill. So as we close one role, we create a bank, a data bank for that particular role so that by the time you get back to us, okay, we need more people, or we want to replace certain people, we just go to that's our archive or what have you, and then start to pull out. Now it may take a while, but how do I mean? The need may not come almost same time. Okay, what I'm trying to say here is that, for instance, if you are able to close a role right now, the next need may come in another 6 months. So you will say maybe our data bank will be obsolete. Yes, of course, it's possible to be obsolete, but what do? You just send mail to everybody in that data bank and ask them, I have this role to close. If anybody is still interested, because you have applied to us. Now, let me say this thing that I always say to my staff and colleagues, that look, there are two parts of as a consultant. Now, mark you, I'm talking like a recruitment consultant. So I may not be talking like you are a recruitment officer. So, but I think you can balance it out yourself. Now, I said to them, look, you are working for two categories of clients, or two kinds of clients. Now, I said, one thing you must understand, when we say, this is the situation is centered around problem solving as a recruitment consultant. So it's circle around that. And now I'm emphasizing, if you see your job as a solution provider, as a problem solver, it makes it easy for you. Then you feel like, look, I'm just gotten the employment and I'm happy I got the employment. And then you think that that's the end of or that's the most important about the job. You want to tell somebody, I work with MTN, I work with Shell. No, what you need to understand is that you are employed or you are engaged because they expect solution. They are looking for problem solving. And then you have showed up to say, look, I can solve problem. So since you have showed up to say, I can solve problem, then that is the reason why you are gotten the employment. And then they will retain you, or you will move up your career ladder based on the number of problems you are able to solve. Or the more problems you solve, the more relevant you remain, the more you are respected, the more you get more money. So that's why I'm speaking in this direction. So what am I saying in essence? What I'm saying is that, look, because you are solving problem, you need to understand that you have two categories of clients you want to solve problem for. Now, the people that are looking for employment are your clients. The client, the organization, the corporate organization that have engaged you are your clients. So you have those looking for employment, or those changing roles, or those that want employment, or what have you. And then you have those that are what do you call them? Those, you have the organization. You have the organization itself, the corporate organization that has engaged you. All right, you have them too. So what I mean is that you need to be able to take care of both ends. You need to be able to identify both ends. You need to be able to see how you can best work with both sides. Again, as a recruitment consultant. So why am I saying this? Philo, you said something the other time. Sometimes you are almost closing the role, and then something just happened, and you'll not be able to close because of salary stuff, this that stuff, that stuff. You know what things we do. And this took me a while before I realized it. I realized that when we scout for people, or when we release vacancy, people apply. Now, when you screen CV, sometimes you see a very good CV. And then when you send them and you shortlist, you do all your profiling, all right? You send them to the client. They come back, all right? They come back, they tell you that the candidate is not good. And then you have done your own pre-interview. Okay, so this, I don't want to go through all those basics because of time, but notwithstanding, let me just mention it. Your recruitment process. Okay, so if you are doing, for instance, if you're working with an organization as a recruiter, okay, so the hiring manager or the department that's hiring, or the very person that needs the manpower, will have given you the job specification, give you the job briefs and all of that, and then you make your own vacancy listing and all of those things, and then get all your details, salary, roles, report line, job grade, positions, and all of those things. You script all of those things. All right. So the moment you release the position, people apply, and then the first thing you do is, first of all, to sort. Sorting, because one thing you must understand, that when you throw out advert open, all kind of human beings will apply, including some people. Not the people, including animal, not human being now, animal, as in animal. Okay, so they will apply. So animal are those people that don't have identity. It could be hackers, it could be all kind of things on system. So you need to understand that those kind of things will come to your system. All right. So please mute yourself if you are not. If you want time to talk, you can unmute yourself, please. All right. So you have all sorts of things that will apply. Okay. So when you have that situation, then what you need to do is to sort. When you sort, then you start your screening process. So when you do your screening process, then you do your shortlisting. Now, from your screening, you screen based on whatever criteria you want to use. If you want to use your age criteria first, you want to use your relevance, you want to use qualification, you want to use the, whatever it is you want to use, you do your, your screen. Then you're sorting based on the next level of criteria you want to use. You sort, or in terms of your judgment, in terms of the first set of people, second set of people, sort. And then the profiling, is to not get, there are data that are on the CV, there are data that you see required, right? So you do your profiling simultaneously with your pre-interview or your first leg interview. All right, do your profiling. When you do that, and then you can now have the first set of priority for the hiring manager. All right, so when you have gone through all this process, then the hiring manager met with the candidates, and they tell you, look, why did you give us kind of candidates? They're not good. But when you are doing your screening, the CV screening, and then your profiling, you find them to be good. So when I discovered that over time, what I said to our team, and we did, was to say, okay, we need to prep. We need to prep those candidates. And that's where am I going? I'm going to where I said, those looking for a job, and then the organization you are recruiting for are both your clients. Initially, if this idea again came up as a result of, I discovered that some of my staff or colleagues, the way they relate and behave towards those that are seeking employment, I said, no, they are not abnormal people. You don't have to disrespect them. In fact, to start from when you invite people for interview and then you keep them waiting at the reception, I don't like that. If you are not ready to get them on board, why will you give them that time? If it happen, let it be that it's not deliberate, it's not intentional, it is as a result of circumstances that made it happen. So I said to them, look, you must respect them. That they are looking for a job does not mean they are inferior or they don't need to be respected. No. In fact, they are clients. Because if we have a brief from our corporate clients and we cannot get individual to pick up the employment, then we are not going to get money to eat. So we want to solve problem for those that are looking for employment, and then we want to solve problem for the corporate organization that need people to fill the role. I hope you get what I'm saying. So when you see that way, and that is what get back to that process that I said, after you have done while you are doing your your profiling and your interview, your first leg interview or pre-interview, you need to introduce what I call prep the candidate. Now, you might say there are some level of candidate that may not need to have prep. Yes, but you can still give what I call prep. You can still do the prepping. And now, do I mean? Some candidates are smart enough to do their due diligence. And the due diligence included our understanding because at that point, now, at the point of where, as a consultant, again, remember I said, at the point where you're going to be doing your profiling and your, shortlisting, you will be preparing them for first leg of interview. Sometimes you might do your profiling and send to the client. The client will not tell you if they will not select their choice of the people you have shortlisted and say you can invite this set of people. By the time you get that information from your client, the prep can come in. Because at that point, for you to prep them, you then need to disclose the identity of your client. So when you disclose the identity of your client at that point, what that happens is that you are not going to be able to discuss with them about the client. Now, this is the client. This is because you're going to mention the name of the client at that point in time. This is exactly what they are looking for. This is what we have seen that you have. And just for you to be well prepared, this. You give them the necessary information. You know why? Again, I tell you as a recruitment consultant, you have to do that because you don't want a situation whereby your candidate will get to the client and they will say to you, why are you wasting our time? Or your candidate will get to the client and they look like something is wrong. I've seen situations where CVs are good and the owner of the CV is not good. I've seen whereby the CV is not well written, and then the owner of the person, the owner of the CV is so sound and solid. Now, prep them. Sometimes, even before you do your final profiling or final shortlisting, you might need to help them work on the resume. Now, I am talking to you as a recruitment consultant, knowing that you want to make money from this. The reason why you would do something about the CV is because you don't want to present a CV that is not well tidied up. So that, because even for you as a consultant, you want to eat this thing once and then get off it. Right now, as I'm speaking to you, we will have close to about 30 roles from different organizations. If I close 10 of those roles, I will do party immediately. If I close 10 of those roles right now in the next 1 week, I will take our staff out. All right. But are we going to close those roles? Yes. But the time of closure is very important to me. Because why? If I close those roles right now, if I'm going to easily get more roles. Because the truth is that what you must understand about your client, the corporate client now, is that they may likely not give you all the roles. So they will distribute the roles to different agencies because they have time lag to work with. And even if they give you all the roles, they also put pressure on you to say, look, we need to close this, we need to close this. And you have other clients. Now, for us as an organization, at least we are working actively. We are working with about 10 clients right now. We have more than that. And you will never know when the other client will also push some brief to you. And because we do other things too, we do training, we do background check, we do other things. So it's not only recruitment. So even if you have a recruitment team, you can never have enough manpower. I said we want to bring almost everybody here. I said some are great fun. Of course, yeah, we have two levels. We have our staff and we have those that are agents that also work. And if they close road, they get their commission and they're fine. But what am I saying to you? These are tactics that is very important. You need to understand. So as a consultant, you need to prep those candidates so that when they go, you go with your best shot. They also go be able to put in their very best shots. I'm not saying that once you prep them, that means that they will get a job automatically. It may, they may not. Because I've also going to say this to you that, look, we have seen situations whereby the candidates are good, are very qualified based on the brief given to you. But I've seen clients changing the brief during the course of the interview. When they met the person that they feel they have described to you, they now start changing the brief. Then, because they are not changing the brief during the interview, and this usually happens, and I'm sure some of you will agree with me, especially those of you that are working in certain organizations as either HR or recruitment officer, that the hiring manager, now, let me say this to you, for those of us that may not know, the way it flows is that the HR oversees the recruitment, sees whatever it is, of the onboarding or whatever, but they are usually sometimes, or most times, they are not the hiring manager. People don't know the difference between that. And I will call on Grace Oluwaola to chip in. Let me describe the difference between the two. I just want to call you out, actually. Are you there? Unmute yourself.
Good evening.
How are
Hi.
you?
I'm very well, thank you. Nice to see you again. Sorry, I won't be
good.
using my video.
Yeah, it's okay. It's okay. I know it's late. Maybe you're in the other room. Go ahead.
I'm somewhere. Some of the rooms, right? Good evening, everyone. And thank you for this opportunity and thank you for all you've been talking about. So before I answer the question, I just want to see why I'm here. So when I saw the topic of the training, I said, yes, I want to be here because okay, I've been in the mainstream human resources and then recruitment. I've done a bit of consulting in the past with recruitment, and then I ran away. And then lately, I feel the stress and the pressure of managing human resources is really a lot. So I'm like, okay, you know what? Let me run into recruitment has more money than core human resources, and the stress in core human resources is a lot, especially with the kind of environment we are and the things going on currently, managing people, managing processes and everything. So for me, that's the thing. So hiring manager and recruitment. So in my company, for example, for all the companies I work, so the person who needs the let me look for the English. The person who is asking for that role, the person who's asking for that position, that is the hiring manager. So it might be the head of marketing saying, I need a director of marketing. So, and then the brief is given to human resources. And then either human resources is doing direct recruitment or they're taking it out. So at the end of the day, that recruitment is going to happen. The person that has the decision is the head of marketing, who is the person you're recruiting for, not necessarily the recruiter or the human resources in this case. So being able to manage it. So there are times when even within the company that is not even consulting, you'll have done all your own and you can almost swear that this is the best person after Jesus Christ. And then they meet the person and they just say, I don't think I like this person. And it's happened a couple of times. I remember when we needed someone for finance in my organization. Ayo, I think I even reached out to you then, if you remember. And then we've concluded, in my head, I've concluded everything. But this role reports directly to my CEO, who is a chartered accountant. So he's worked in the Big Four and Big Four and everything. And then it was just about 5 minutes. He spoke with this person. And then it just rounded off immediately. And then he just finished and sent me a Teams message. Sorry, I don't want this person. I couldn't say, ha, but that's what happens all the time. But for me, you lose. The only thing is, over the years, if I do that, especially for the organization where I'm working, I tell you, okay, no problem. Just give me time. I'll go through the process. And the times when I remember the last set of interviews, recruitment I did, and I had like 5 people. So I booked the appointment for the co-founders to speak with the first person. And they finished and said, give the offer to that person. That wasn't even the best person on my list. So I was like, we can still have other people. I said, no, we don't have time. That's the person we want. So because that person, yes, was reporting to both of them. So I hope that answers the question.
Thank you so much. At
but
least
I'm here because I want to go into recruitment and I want to make more money.
Don't worry, you know the secret already. Okay. I think that corroborates what I said earlier, that there's there's money in recruitment. And again, I'm going to say it to you. I'm a secure leader, so even if I tell you everything I do from day to day, it doesn't make me not make my own money. I mean, there's enough space for everybody. In fact, I can offer you what I do. If you do it better for me, we share the money. That's my own. So it's not about what we call trade secrets. Every business has its own trade secret. I might be giving you the trade secret of what has fed us over the year, what has helped us to pay bills over the year. But it doesn't mean you're going to block my way. You can block my way. You can only block your own way and make your own money. All right. Because the truth is that everybody's has got vision and has got dynamism. And I probably maybe be talking some other time about being an HR consultant. But today I'm just narrowing down to recruitment. And thank you, Grace, for that clarification. The hiring manager, like we all know, in every organization, usually different from the HR most of the time, if not all of the time. Because if there are roles that fall under the HR, then you now know that, okay, that role is for the HR. But most of the roles are not directly sourced for or owned by the HR. HR will only take on the process. Now, so the problem we have seen over time, and has always been a challenge, and it's constantly been a challenge, even till tomorrow, right now, even for us and in recruitment, okay, is the fact that the hiring managers sometimes are not too sure of what they want. So there's a language that probably will have described them, I can't remember now. they want something. They scripted what they wanted. But by the time they see what they want something different. And you know what happened? When you present the candidate to them, they see a very good, solid candidate. They're not looking for what is not lost. Just because they felt, oh, the candidate has expressed certain things that they feel it will be good for them if they can get it. And then that is a lot of frustrations. Imagine you get a brief, a position that this particular corporate client had given out to 5 other agencies and they could not get solution. And they give it to you and you got solution. And then they got the person. And then they start telling you something different that the hiring manager say if you can get something additional. And like, you know, one thing you need to know as a recruitment consultant is that you don't have to cry, but you might get to a point that you are highly emotional that you may want to burst into crying. Now I will tell you, and I'm speaking to you as a CEO of organization that run recruitment, and then I've been doing recruitment for years. The implication is that sometimes some people, sometimes some people will tell you, why don't you bill the client, the corporate client, all right, certain part of the percentage ahead, and you need to pay ahead. I said, no corporate organization will pay ahead for you to recruit for them. If there are those that are paid, it's not too common. Let me put that. So I won't tell you that the people pay. No, even if they give you 50 positions, they won't pay any dime. You get paid when the candidate has been onboarded. The onboarding means it has been given employment letter, and more importantly, the person has resumed. In fact, the fastest payment comes 2 weeks from two of our clients. The fastest comes 2 weeks after the person has resumed. But the usual one, the common one is that they pay you 1 month after the person has resumed. All right, that's the most usual one. I mean, the usual payment plan or term. So they don't pay you when what do you call it? When they give you brief. Nobody pays you when they give you brief. They pay you when the staff has been resumed. So where am I going? Where I'm going is that whatever it is you are doing, whatever it is you want to do, once they give you the brief, you need to close your roles. However, if you have done your work, because there's no way, again, you must understand as a consultant, that you will go into sourcing or trying to close roles that you will not expend costs. So you now understand where I'm trying to go. You are going to expend costs because sometimes I can tell you, we buy CV sometimes. We buy CV, we didn't buy the owner of the CV. It can be crazy. Because there's some, okay, so you see, this way it works. You have some brief, and then they tell you the salary of the person is 30 million. Like, wow. Even if they are paying me 5%, 10% of 30 million is 3 million, right? If they're going to pay 5% of that, that's 1.5. Just for recruiting one person. You know, you will put everything of your being into it. Just for one position. Now, so you won't mind spending some money to the point that you might pay for the best of the service of LinkedIn. So don't think that to get it, we can't finish today, but at least maybe we'll do part 1 today. And then, like I said, it's a community, then we'll continue. I promise you, I want to do this, not only as Empower, but I want to do it as part of a giveaway, and people can make money. All right. LinkedIn, if you want to get the best of service of LinkedIn, you have to pay for premium. So you can pay. At the time, I was paying about 100,000 for certain service. And then you see, even at 100,000, it's not that you still have access to everything, but at least you can get something. Now, so when you do that, then there are some other platforms too that you can go that if you, even Jobberman, as a Jobberman, some of us know Jobberman, they have services that you may pay for. Now, you are doing it because you want to close that position on time. And let me say this to you. When they give you that position of 30 million salary, that you have calculated your own possibility of your income, 1.5, for example. If it's 5%, you are dealing with that organization. And then you pay into LinkedIn. You went to Jobberman said you can pay for their service. So you are outsourcing that particular responsibility for Jobberman. You're going to look for candidates for you. They have different packages, and then you pay them money too. they are looking for you. All right. And all of this is still that hoping you can get the best. But you know what? The another dangerous part of it is that the corporate client will tell you, we are not giving you this position exclusively. So it's not exclusive. It's not exclusive to your agency. What that means is that they could have given it to 5 other agencies. That's the one part that's very tricky in this our business. Now, when they do that, by the time you are coming back with your own profile candidate, they will tell you another agency too has already submitted, or most likely tell you that they are running interview for some set of people. By the time they finish, they can't pick from them, they will come to you. Now, even if they take in your own and say, okay, fine, you've submitted, they will tell you, now, by the time they run interview, if they are unable to get candidates from your own pool, they might likely not come back to you. What you will just hear is that we have closed the role. Now, it will be nice if they are giving you opportunity to, because you know what will usually happen? We have 4 sets of shortlist candidates, and then we have another set, which is backup. Suppose they cannot go through that, they go through the first 5. And I said to you, in your first 5 shortlisted candidates, you should be able to get to be picked from them. If you're not picked from them, it's a challenge. So you can have your second batch, second 5. So you'll be waiting for the client to get back to you and say, look, we've gone through those 5. We find good candidate, but because of negotiation of salary, we could not pick from them. And then you will never end. By the time they're going to give you, I said that we have picked someone. You know why? Because they have other agencies too that are also presented, and they've picked from there. So your money you spend on LinkedIn, on Bojabama is gone. You can't hold anybody responsible, because the agreement usually will be is pay until they pick candidate that they pay. So you see the reason why it's not just one of those jobs, it's not just one of those things. The recruitment officer in fact need to be any more than HR. I'm telling you the honest truth. And probably I'll make a case for that very soon. Maybe in my book, one of my book, I'm hoping I could get time to write. Because why? They go through hell. So you can understand the challenge. Now, as a recruitment consultant, most of your clients will give you position and they're not giving it to you exclusively. I want to emphasize that again. They give you the position, you are running without those. Sometimes you even see the position you are advertising being advertised again on some other platform, because they give it to different agencies. They want to close it on time. So while you are doing that, if you are even able to shortlist candidates, they just tell you they've closed it. Do you know one thing also that you need to that can be very funny and embarrassing, that you have a candidate that you have shortlisted and profile and sent to the client. Another agency has also profile and sent that to the client. Because of that, I was angry with one of our clients, corporate client, and I didn't want to work with them again. I told them we're not going to work with you again, because I felt they cheated us out. They just came back to us that the candidate we shortlisted had been previously shortlisted by another company. And then I said, no, it's not possible. They said they sent their own first before we sent ours. The same candidate. That's a good money, a lot of money. I felt totally unhappy. I felt it wasn't the truth. Now, it might be the truth, but I was just being emotional that, this money is big. How can we miss out? Now, let me tell you another funny one, which happened, and I wasn't happy with that, our staff. We had this CV in our system. The account officer of that company forwarded other CVs, not forwarding that particular CV. So the HR of that company now got back to us that they've selected one candidate and the name of the person is also so. I hope that the person is from us. So what I just do was to search our sent message to the client, and I saw, I checked on our system data and I saw that we have that CV. So I just pulled out the CV and I forwarded to the HR, even on WhatsApp, that to justify that we are the one that own the candidates. So she was okay. She will get back to me so that we can present our invoice. And the money was going to be about 1.8 million naira. So you can see the reason why I felt so emotional about it. She just go back to me, no. When she discovered with her colleague that the person is not from us, I said it's not possible. I can't start praying and fasting now. He said, how can you have this CV in your system and you didn't send it to us? That is not from you. So I asked the account officer. He said, we didn't send it. And we have it in the system. And that was the guy that was picked. Unfortunately, the guy that even the candidate told them that he doesn't know us. He knows us. Because apparently what happened was that we have solicited for another client before. But this time around, we didn't solicit him for that particular client. So we lost out. We lost 1.8 million naira for one candidate. So again, like Oluwalola said, this business is sweet. But it's only sweet when you are able to close the position. Do you know sometimes 3 months we don't close positions? So you can understand when I say, because I'm mentioning 1.8 million, that's the juicy part. When you don't close position for 3 months, you still have to pay salary. You still have to pay your bills as a consultant. So where am I going? Maybe anything we can pick out tonight will be, when I say it requires patience, it requires hard work, and it requires you working beyond the normal period of hours. You can understand. Even as a staff of an organization working on recruitment, same thing is applicable. Recruitment actually is sometimes requires such that you need some level of serenity around you, some silence, and it requires some level of mental work. So it's not just you're going to pick CV and just say you have gotten. It's not like that. It's not. So I want to also tell you that part of our challenge is that we have not always closed all of the positions, even when we want to. And we work with at least some A company that you want to mention. But the challenges is that I've seen over time is that the team we work with, the team you work with, even including yourself, don't always understand some of the technicality that goes into this thing. So it's only assumed that's one of those jobs that you can just do anyhow. Now, let me tell you, I don't like doing recruitment because it's also tedious. So rather than looking for what is not lost, I want to do some other thing, do training, do some other job, my own strategy session, and make my money and go. But recruitment is sweet. You know my language, I'll tell them in the office, go to burial ground and mortuary, go and wake people up, tell them come and take job. We need money. You see, that's crazy part of it. You know, when you didn't say that one is a high level of madness. But that's honest truth. So you need to be looking for people that need job. So when I did an article with Punch I think it's some years ago. And I sit stand by that article. I'm going to send them to republish it. That there are jobs. Again, there are jobs, but there are no good and competent hands to pick those available jobs. So sometimes we say there's no job, there's job. But the challenge is that there are no people who are qualified to pick up those jobs. So that is why we run into that trouble of looking for people. But I'll come to that another time. Why is it difficult that people that are available are not getting the job, and those that are said that there's no job, why? We'll come back to that. But at least as a consultant, you need to know. So I'm laying the foundation of some of the things that are naughty that may make this job frustrating for you. You want to ask me, have I not been frustrated? Severally, I've been frustrated. I'm frustrated sometimes because I have to pay bills, staff salary, and for money I do not make. But you know, one shining light will just brighten your day one day sometime. You know, one that brightened my day of recent was that we are going to recruit even HR manager for a client. And then it happened the first time. We are shortlisted candidates. They were doing interview and they said that they decided to pick somebody from internal, and then that such kind of situation bring that recruitment process to halt. They'll tell you just consider somebody within the house. You can't fight, even when you're not happy. And if you feel like when you're not happy, you want to express yourself to your client all of the time, you're also going to. And I won't lie to you. Sometimes we have a particular client. I don't even know whether someone or anybody from there is on this call. I fight them. If I told them we don't want to work for them again, but these are clients that will give us big money, but just felt that the trouble is too much. What is near miss? You will say, hey, it's almost going to wrap up. Hey, it's just going to meet in night. They have 2 MDs, and they're going to be another MDs, and it's not working. I'm like, this 2 million naira will have just enter. And they say, so sometimes I just say, we are not doing business with you again. So that I will not be raising my hope all of the time. But like I said, when you see a challenge like sometimes, just get close one, and then you get good money, and then you just smile to the bank. But it's not always consistent. So, but I know that if I had to do it, I probably would be getting results, but I don't have the time because of other things. I said, you might ask me, like, if I say I don't have the time, and it's one of the things, it's like a cash cow, let me put it that way. So why don't I have the time? Of course, I have other things to do. Of course, other things will give me some level of fulfillment. Okay, so I'm trying to give you the insight, like I said, the business of recruitment as a consultant, and I'm trying to also let you know some of the skills that you need to bring on board. And I will just put it this way, which was one of the things I wanted to start with. I was want to ask Solomon to post that you might need to run the personality test. You know, to work as a recruiter or as a recruitment consultant, you need to understand who you are. You need to really know yourself. Recruitment is not like every other HR skills. If it was training, you could work with templates. Get me? Other area of specialization in HR. Training, you could work with templates, because what you're going to do is to probably put the training together, do some evaluations, and do your skill gap analysis and all of that. You can do that. If it was going to be performance evaluation, you're going to use templates. If it's going to be compensation and payroll, you're going to use templates. It's going to be, you want to be enjoying policy and all, you're going to see use templates and gather information to build your the policies. But recruitment is one of the naughty, it's the naughtiest, not even one, of all HR specialization. And like you heard again, it's one of the area that you make good money as a consultant. Because as an employee, they won't pay you based on that you are doing recruitment. In fact, they will pay you as a junior of staff. And let me say this to you. If I have many, I don't know how many HR we have here, and they can bear witness. Some of them don't even know how to do recruitment. So they will not tell you they will do it. They will only tell you to do it, and then they will interview the people. Because it's naughty. But is it that we cannot do it, or we cannot make money, we cannot get by? We can. We can. But because of time, my time here, I'm not in Nigeria right now. I'm speaking to you from Canada. We are 5 hours behind Nigeria. So my time here is about 4. Your time is about 9. Tomorrow is Monday. People are going to work. So I won't be able to go too much. But at least let's have this one as the first leg of this discussion. I'm going to do more about some of the technical things we cannot do to probably get by in getting your candidate on board. But I'll just do one of it. One of the things I always said to people is that, and it's similar to when I take courses on sales and marketing, that what I call okay, so let me just explain it. I can't get that word to, maybe if it comes. What I call knowledge. Okay, yeah. In marketing and sales, I call it product knowledge. But here I'll tell you that the technical knowledge, technical know-how. Okay, so it starts from your brief, what you are looking for exactly. Now, in so much time when you develop those briefs, we look at probably age, we look at maybe so exceptionally, occasionally, or when we say for balancing to say gender is not always safe, but you look at educational qualification and experience. All right. Now, in the experience, we have cognitive experience, which is almost same thing as hands-on experience. Okay. Now, so you need to first of all understand what exactly are you looking for. And like Philo said the other time, we have about 4 pharmaceutical companies that we work with. And sometimes when we do recruitment for them, we have Shalina, we have Worldwide Service, we have Pharma something, we have, I think about 5 of them. Now, when you are doing recruitment for them, there are positions, sometimes there are production position or engineering positions that you assume that anybody in FMCG to be able to balance out, but they will tell you they want somebody in pharmaceutical. And like, these positions are limited, because how many pharmaceuticals even exist in Nigeria, even though there are many? But such positions should not be absolutely restricted to somebody that works in a pharmaceutical company. You can broaden into like engineering and production, because the machine that the person is probably going to be working with probably will be similar to somebody that works in carbonated industry or soft drink or what have you, or beverage industry, will still be using. But they will tell you, because why? Most organizations don't want to employ and train. They want on board and go. kick and start. Are you getting me? So because of that, they rather want you to have done all of the due diligence, do the work, look for it, and just bring it to us. And that's always the challenge. So what then you need to do is then once you understand the specification, the requirement, is to focus, first of all, generate your list of organizations that are pharmaceutical. Companies that are pharmaceutical company, generate their list. If they sell Lagos, generate the list. And in Lagos, you can get up to 20 or plus pharmaceutical company. Generate the list. Then you can leverage on LinkedIn and social media. But more importantly, such kind of position, you will go for headhunting. And how do you do headhunting? It's another kettle of fish on its own. All right. So, but we don't have time. And I want us to have about 15 minutes questions. All right. So I'll just say that right now. But like I promised, we are having this community. So we're going to get on with it. If possibly, I'm not sure. I'll look at schedule. If next Sunday is okay, we can do an hour, maybe for or through July, we can look for an hour every weekend. We do an hour and then we probably get somewhere. I promise I want to do my best as to be able to help you. And I want to learn from you too, because I can tell you I'm not solid. I'm not as if I know everything. And the goal for me and for Lorach is that we want to have a presence in UK, in US, Canada, and in Africa. Okay, so the Canada one will happen very soon. And other nations going to happen. Because why? You know what interesting thing about recruitment is every company, every place in the world, they need manpower. I didn't know so much about Indeed platform until I got to Canada and I saw what they do so much with Indeed. Indeed is a very big platform. All right. And then we launched Lorach on Indeed to see how we can also see where. So we will discuss some of those things as we go by. So let me stop now and then I can have questions and the question and answer we can get to it. So thank you. I hope I've made sense and I hope I'm not confused and I'm not scared anybody. All right. Really. So if you have question, you can either unmute your mic or you throw your question in the chat room, and I can assure you we will get to it, and we'll continue that way. Solomon, you can post the link to the WhatsApp group on the chat room for those that don't know on the link WhatsApp already to join. We will have about 2-3 people that will be our admin or coordinator of that group, because I can't tell you I can coordinate. Solomon and 2 other people that may be interested, you can let him know. And then we will define the rules ourselves, and then we'll make money together, because it's about want to make money. The essence of this training is for you to make money. When you make the money and got about and you start making 1 million naira per candidate, if you remember me, fine. If you don't remember me, you're on your own. All right. So questions, please. Thank you, Ifeanyi. Thank you, Philo. Thank you, Chinemeze. Thank you. Forgive me. I hope I'm more than you. Asabe, thank you. Edidon, thank you. Yeah, question. No, don't thank me. Ask questions, please. Or on which you can contribute. If you have any idea, you can contribute. I'm not going to tell you I'm the superman here. I've just shared my own experience. I've been doing it for years, and I see more to talk about what you can also share with us. And if you are also interested in that job, either to also work partner with us as an agent, you want us to give you a role, you can close and then we can agree on commission, fine. If you want employment, we have a space for 1 person or 2, you can talk to me. We will go through the process of recruitment and then we'll see whether you are a good fit for us. Otherwise, I want you to unmute your mic and ask questions or throw it in the chat room if you cannot talk. Okay, so let me take Ifeanyi. Sorry, let me take Ifeanyi, then we'll come back to you. Ifeanyi say, my challenge has always been on the technical recruitment. I'm looking forward to learn more. Yeah, we'll talk more about it. I've started it, but we'll talk more about it in the subsequent edition. All right, so someone wants to talk. Go ahead, Obiageli. Eze, go ahead.
Good evening, Dr. Ayo. Good evening, everyone. Thanks for sharing your experience. It was very insightful.
Thank you.
I'd like to ask 2 questions.
Yeah.
I'm an HR generalist. I'm into recruitment too, but it's not been long. I started that about 2 years ago. So if I want to advance in recruitment.
Mhm.
Could you recommend any certification that I could get that would help me specialize in it? That's number one. Then from the money-making aspect of it, is there anything you could share that would help me to know how I could make my own money from it too? Thank you. Those are the two questions I have.
Okay, so I will say this way. CIPM is the HR body in Nigeria, all right, that regulates activities of HR. Recruitment is an aspect, it's a part of HR. So if you are certified, you are a charter member of CIPM, automatically you are free to practice your recruitment, even as a consultant, what have you, or your certification is qualified. However, in Nigeria too, we have the national productivity or what have you. If you want to work as a recruitment agency, you may have to register with them. There's also UCAPAN. UCAPAN is also a body that do something with recruitment. You know, in recruitment we have foreign expatriate recruitment, and we have the internal one. So that one is another kettle of fish, but I'll talk on that later on. All right. So, but essentially, what I'm doing right now, if I give you certificate from Lorage, okay, it's good enough to say you have passed through a training on it. But like I said to you, your CIPM certification covers you as either as a HR generalist or as a recruitment. Of course, some other specialty like that under a HR like training, you know, you have I think what's the name of the NITAD too there. What do you call it? The one at Magodo, CA, what they something, I've forgotten what they call them. So, but if it's about international certification, again, it will still boil down to the HR generalist. I know there are some that, because I don't want to say that, look, there's specific CMD, thank you. I don't want to say there are specific recruitment certification that you have to do. You could go on Coursera and run your certification there and get it done. It is relevant, because usually if you apply for HR role, they won't tell you whether you have certification in recruitment, but they will give you a recruitment job. So that's why I'm trying to say. So you might just not too bothered about certification. I think it's about knowing it and then pulling for your HR responsibility if you see it. If you see recruitment job vacancy, apply for it with your HR certification. They will talk to you. They will say you are not qualified. They won't ask you specifically for recruitment certification. It's very rare to them to ask you for things like that. They might only ask you, have you done what's your expertise in terms of recruitment, and you can tell them you know it and you have some training you have done on it, so which is okay. All right, that's about that. For money making, I've said that there are two ways or three. You work with an organization as an HR, you do recruitment job there, fine, that you collect for salary, or you start your own business and say you want to do recruitment firm, which almost everybody is doing these days. But again, not everybody is making money from it. That's the reality. But you can also do like agency, like I said. We have people that partner with us. We have a platform for them that are agents. We push positions there. All right. We agree on what we can pay you in terms of commission. And then if we give you roles and you close it, once the client employ your own candidates, then they pay us, we pay you, and you make money. And there are people that I don't know whether there's any more there here already. I know we have people that are making money from there. So it's good. As I'm talking to you, if you say you are interested, I can push to you some 5 positions right now. And if you can close them tomorrow or next tomorrow, and the clients go through the process and they're happy with them and they close all of those roles for us, they pay. And one thing you need to know is that for us anyway, if you close any role as partner with us, you and they pay us, you will pay. So we don't need to start playing funny games because we want to make extra money. No, we have roles that we want people that want to close with us. So you can make money from that. All right. So right now you're on employment, you can do it like you call side hustles. It's fantastic until you feel because if you pull out right now, I say you want to start your consultancy firm, recruitment firm, how many organizations will you be able to get brief from? We didn't start out and I started getting brief immediately. No, I told you the story. It was from solving one problem that another problem identify itself. So every line of businesses we have started is because we solve one problem and we solve another problem emanating from it, and we try to solve it, and then we solve problem. So everything you are doing, including your career, see it as a problem solver in your organization. If you see it that way, you make more money. But if you see your job as employment and a career, and you're not seeing it as a problem solution provider, a problem solver, you won't get the best of it. All right. So I think I'll stop at that. Okay. So Solomon, those that are interested, you can get their details, the number, they can chat you, and then we can then do that, discuss that later. So for Esther Ari, I wish to find out the place of artificial intelligence and recruitment. I attended a webinar recently talking about AI and the place for recruitment and employment. All right. I've always enjoyed the recruitment aspect of HR, and I would like to get a certificate for this series. Okay, so talk to Solomon. He will talk to you about the details for that. So for the AI and recruitment, let me tell you one interesting thing. Right time I'm in Canada for some reasons right now. And so when I got around here and I saw that the things we do in Nigeria, especially as an HR, that you are HR generalist, yes, it exists here. People are HR generalists, but most of the responsibility here are unbundled. So you have specifically organizations looking critically for recruitment. It happens in Nigeria too, but it's not as common. Almost all professions, sometimes certain area of specialty are unbundled. All right, yeah. Then technology is highly appreciated here. So every skills you have as a technology or what have you, it helps and gives opportunity. Now, for the artificial intelligence, where I'm going is that the technology has had an impact in almost every field. So it's not only recruitment. Okay, so and then you ask me, how does artificial intelligence work? Because I've tried to embrace it a little. I'm even going for another seminar or training next weekend again on this artificial intelligence. And what I've discovered about it is that, of course, it's a machine that are being programmed by people but the smartness and the swiftness is what is the difference. Okay, now so the AI will still work with certain database. Okay, but what it will do is that rather than you now having to screen to sort to screen, it will do all of that for you and recommend those people based on the database that is working with. Okay, and then so it makes your job more faster. For instance, the naughty part of recruitment is when you throw out a position and you have 500 people apply for it. So you ask yourself, how do you now go about it? That's number one. Now, I told you Indeed and some other platform right now, once you post your CV on those platforms, they partition your CV, they sort out your CV into different categorization. So when people are looking for candidates with different criteria, it's already your data has already been unbundled. Your CV come as a whole. But when you post it on platform like Indeed and some other platform, that's what AI works with. They unbundle, they take your biodata, different category, they take all of your experiences, and then there are some specific words that you must use for your CV to go on those platforms and be well categorized. There are specific words that you will use. So for AI too, AI work with those. So if AI need to do those jobs, it work with those database. All right, and pick those information. So if you go to AI now and say or chat GPT and say, I want positions for store manager, if this age bracket or with your criteria, it will scout through those database and then recommend those for you that fit into your requirement or your specification. So the way you do your CV now, you must make it such that it's defined and categorized that it can be, once you throw it into the database, it just goes into those positioning. And then, so as even most time, you see that for Indeed, for instance, the other platform, I'm just using as an example, if they will be the one to recommend positions that are available for you based on your CV that you have put there. So most time you just see in your email that based on your information we have, we think you'll be a good fit for this position. So that's how it works. And the same way they push those to you, the same way if you work with AI will scout for those things and recommend those candidates for you. So ultimately, you might say the danger for you not getting a job is not absolute. But one thing I've discovered again about life and career is that the more technology advanced, the more you also have to be sophisticated. You don't have to stay in one spot. The fact that it's not relevant to what you are doing now, but don't be open-minded. You know what? I told people you need to be globally minded in your perspective. Right now, you can't say because even whether you're getting the best of salary right now, you must begin to see how, because one thing that was important, is change. One thing that's common is change. So your professionalism or your skill, your career, there will always be a better way to solve the problem. There'll be a better way to do it. So you must be able to be open and honest yourself to look for more opportunity. And technology is a disruption and will continue to be a disruptor, and it's for everlasting. I think until Jesus come back, technology disruption will not stop. So, but it may not be in our domain right now. It may not be as disruptive as it is in other domain, but that does not give you that. I mean, that does not make you to lay back or be carried away. So position yourself because it's about you. It's about your career. All right. All right. So now you are new. Okay, great. Tressa want to go. So artificial. No, I've not told you I'm an artificial intelligence expert. I've just shared my knowledge, but no problem. We'll get to it. Don't worry. Before you told me to join us, okay. So don't worry. Solomon, you can read. Solomon is putting the information you can read from him. So that will sort out. Okay, everybody's just interested. When anybody want to make money, see when people hear money, they are here. Right? We open. When I say there's million, I make 1 million from recruitment now. Everybody wants to come to recruitment, but you know one thing, it's boring. It's frustrating. I told you I'm annoyed though. I'm told you. You know, how can an organization give you 50 position, and then you struggle. In fact, when we got some of those, when we onboarded their new clients, we employ more people. We pay salary, we couldn't make money because it was so frustrating. And I told the client we are not interested again. How can I be working for 6 months and we cannot make money from you? You know, so what am I saying? Recruitment can be frustrating, but I'm telling you it's true if you are really giving it all it takes. Because it's not something you try that you do it as when you like, or you just do it. Maybe you do for certain date. No, it takes. It's like you are doing surgery that you must focus and then not lose attention, and then like your life depends on it. But I tell you, when you close roles and you are making money, you know, right now, and I won't lie to you, I'm broke right now personally, but I'm working with an organization now, and they're about to close 5 roles. If they close that 5 roles, in another 1 month, I may have some good money to come for me. So that's joy. I just pray. So because now I'm start fasting and praying that those things must close, including their MD to everybody, and even the candidate that want to get the job, they must not turn it down. You know, so that's how terrible this hard work might be. But I tell you, if you really give it your best shot, it's something that you enjoy. All right. Okay. So I said 9:15, but so we have 3 more minutes to wrap up. We'll close by 9:20, and then we can call it a day so that you can go rest. But I tell you, we're building a community, and everybody should be able to part of that and should be able to enjoy the best. So I will, if Grace is still here, do you have any closing shot for us? Okay, so when you want to say something quickly, go ahead and say yours before we hear from Madam Grace, and we can call it a day. Sion, do you want to say anything? Okay, Grace, you have anything to say, or anyone has anything to say? We have to drop the curtain right now, and then we'll continue. We'll announce on the platform another time. And again, this is about recruitment. We will not be talking about other aspects of HR basically, but this is about recruitment. But if you see any other advert from me for other things, then if you're interested, you can join. But that's for recruitment. All right, Madam Grace, you have anything to say?
I want to say thank you very much, Dr. Ayo, for this opportunity and for giving back. So I'm sure interesting times are here, and I'm really looking forward to working with you and the rest of the team on this platform currently, and those who will join us after this time. Let's make magic and let's make money.
Yeah. Thank you.
You can please put some of those videos too close to me. We can just see what can happen during the week.
Okay, great. So we'll talk more. Okay, so Solomon, it's your cup now. I think I've done my part. You can then wrap it up and close for today's session. Thank you, everyone. Enjoy the rest of your night. Me, I'm just starting my day.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you, everyone, for joining. Thank you.
Please, I want to be an agent. Oh, how do I get you to you people?